Hello everyone. Hope you're enjoying your quarantine. This is a video that I'm just doing for fun, and expect more videos from me in the future, more Star Wars videos in specific. But I play a lot of Battlefront 2, and I play a lot of Heroes vs Villains in particular, and I play at a relatively high level, very skilled players, and I just figured uh, just for fun, why not share my thoughts and opinions on hero balancing currently in the game? Now, this is basically going to revolve around an HVV meta. This is not ranking heroes based on Galactic Assault or Capital Supremacy or any other game mode. This is mainly about HVV, how heroes and villains interact with each other on a team, and how much utility and how much support they bring to their team in an HVV meta. Now, I'm going to be going from. Actually, I'm just going to. We're just going to do this sporadically because I can talk about some heroes more than others. I'm more experienced as a Saber player, but I do play a lot with high level blaster mains. I play in a lot of full squads with a lot of my friends who do mainly play blaster heroes, and I feel like I've played against and with high level blaster mains enough to, I feel, give very good opinions on the state of their balancing. Now I'm just gonna go in order, just for the hell of it. Anakin, we're just gonna start with him. I think Anakin is a solid A tier. Now, I would bring him down to B tier simply on the fact of his bugs. Heroic Might never works. Passionate Strike has a bug where it won't activate. Uh, his only consistent ability is his pull. You know what? I'm gonna actually just put him. I'm gonna put him in A. Just we'll put him in A. But if not for bugs, I think Anakin can compete with Vader sometimes. But we'll get to Vader later. His pull ability, his combo is extremely high damage. If you do pull Heroic Might or Heroic Might pull and then 2 hits, then Passionate Strike, they're pretty much down to an average health hero is pretty much already down to about 200 health and maybe even 150. That combo is ridiculous, but usually against a good Saber player, you'll probably only get up to the 2 hits, and you won't get the Passionate Strike after that. Very good character when he's working. His main weakness, in my opinion, is against any sort of sustained blaster fire or uh, dual long duels, mainly with characters who can chip away at his weak stamina. Stay away from massive strikes if you are a duelist player. If you enjoy lightsaber dueling, lightsaber combat, stay away from his massive strike star card because you need the stamina with Anakin because his stamina is already atrocious, and with that card it's only going to be worse. Yes, the 20 damage is not worth it. He's already a very good damage character. You're going to just need all the stamina you can get, especially against any character, any Dooku or any Palpatine. Those are the two characters you want to stay away from as Anakin. It's a very poor matchup for him. Boba Fett. Boba Fett. Boba Fett I'm going to put in C, mainly because of his low damage output. His damage really holds him back. He would be he'd pretty broken in my opinion. He might be S tier if he had good damage. Uh, I know some people are gonna say, "Oh, okay, he's here because he should probably be D tier or bottom tier if you believe that he's that bad." This character is literally uncatchable if a player who knows what he's doing is using him. And the reason I do put him in C tier above D tier is because a skilled player can put some work in with Boba Fett. He's kind of like in that Kirby range in Smash, if any of you play Smash, where Kirby, he's not a good character, but any skilled player behind him can put a lot of work in and pretty much fuck you up uh, if you're not prepared for the matchup. Uh, this character can fly forever with a high level player behind him and be pretty fucking uncatchable by any Saber character. And he's not higher because of blaster characters exist. Characters like Leia, Lando, and Han and Finn mainly, specifically. uh, who can snipe his ass out of the sky. But he's no Saber character is gonna catch him if he knows what he's doing. And that's the only reason he's not D tier, because his damage output is pretty bad, and a good player can put some work in. All right, next. Bosk. Ooh, Bosk. Ooh, this motherfucker. Let's say I'm gonna put Bosk in B, because Bosk, he's not, alright, he's definitely good. He's a character, he doesn't have a lot of defensive options, and not really a lot of evasive options. His He has ridiculous damage output, though. And when I say ridiculous, this character will melt anyone in about 3 seconds. I actually play with a high-level Bosk player a lot. And I mean a lot. Like, especially during this quarantine, I play a lot with him. I'm a Kylo main on Dark Side, and I play with Bosk a lot. This Bosk guy a lot. If he's got his mind set up, I pull, boom, they're done for. Like, they're pull, you're exploded, you're done. If I freeze, he whips out his predator instinct and blows to hell whoever's frozen. This character can be a ridiculous asset to your team. However, I think he's not quite broken. He's not like on that broken level. He's not as good as other blaster characters, in my opinion, because he doesn't bring as much utility as other blaster characters do. He doesn't have a stun. He doesn't have any sort of shield or it's just not a lot of support. He's very offensive, very attack based, and he does take a level of skill to be good with, because one, his blaster is pretty bad. It's pretty much, has no headshot multiplier. He's pretty much all reliant on his abilities. If he doesn't have them, he's not doing anything. Like, if an Obi-Wan gets a mind trick off on him, he's pretty much useless on the battlefield. Getting away from Saber characters, he's pretty much either got to kill them or die. He's got no options for getting away. I don't know what else I could say about Bosk. Bosk in a team too. Bosk in a team, any like cheese 4 blaster team on Dark Side, he is gonna be putting in work. Not in that broken level, in my opinion, but he's definitely a good character in an HVV meta. Okay, Chewbacca. I'm gonna put Chewbacca in B as well, especially after this buff, because this video is being made in April of 2020. He can put ridiculous amount of chip damage onto any Saber character, because he has that unblockable sort of just splash damage, base firing attack, whatever. You hold your aim down. Furious Bowcaster melts any character in the game, Saber or otherwise. He has a stun, very good utility for both survivability of himself and for his team. If you see a fucking Vader pushing you, you just throw that stun down, your entire team could just melt him before he can be broken as shit and kill your entire fucking squad. Chewbacca, he also has the, forgive me for not knowing the name of the star card at the moment, but where he can gain damage resistance as he does damage to enemy heroes. And he right now, Chewbacca is very good in Heroes vs. Villains and Hero Showdown. I wouldn't say as much in Galactic Assault or Capital Supremacy, but in an HVV meta, he's very good at the moment. Darth Maul. Darth Maul. I'm gonna put Darth Maul in C tier. He's probably one of the weakest Saber characters in the game. He has very poor block stamina, very low damage. He has good combos if you're good with him. If you choke into spin attack, saber throw, spin attack. He's pretty complex. The spin attack is probably his best ability, uh, but he's such a very low damage character. You have to be very careful with him. He has 50 less health than any other base saber hero. Any average saber hero, I mean. Like, average health of saber heroes is 750. He has a 700. Uh, you have to put a lot of work in to do work with Darth Maul. You're gonna need a lot of support from your team. You can't really carry with Darth Maul. Uh, just Yeah, Darth Maul I think is a solid C tier. He's not terrible, like he's not useless because saber heroes I think inherently are better than just a lot of blaster characters just because of force mobility and force powers as well as just insane melee damage that all saber heroes have. But Darth Maul compared to others definitely one of the weakest in the game. Now we get to this broken motherfucker. You oh, I'm just tempted. All right, here I'm gonna do it right now, right for you all. Vader, God tier. There you go. This is all you need to know about this character right now. Absolutely insane. Now, just because I'm joking, or that was just a joke, and I don't want to make my S tier pointless, but Darth Vader is clearly the best character in the game, no questions asked. He can 4v1 pretty much any team composition that the light side can bring, with the exception, I'm going to say an exception because he's not that broken. He's not that broken. But if light side is running 4 sabers and you want to 4v1 the entire squad as Vader, you can do it if you're a good enough player. Easily. Not even like difficult. Like it'll be a challenge with like a Dooku or Kylo, but it's definitely going to be a lot easier if you're 4v1ing with a Vader. Insane damage, just a fucking tank, has 1200 health with bonus health star card and Furious Rage active, as well as the Resilience card gives him 25% damage resistance when he has Furious Rage on. Like, what are these devs smoking to think this character is balanced? He's unkillable if a good enough player is behind it. And I would even consider myself like that. I can carry games with under level 10 noobs against level 40s or higher, and I can win the game as Vader if I'm really trying. This character is ridiculous. All right, choke is a death sentence. Choke, hit, saber throw. That's over half of a character's health bar gone instantly. Not to mention if Furious Rage is active, that one hit is gonna do even more damage. He has more stamina when he has Furious Rage active. He has amazing block stamina, no less. Vader, he needs some form of change. I don't want to neuter Vader like a lot of other characters have been, but this character definitely needs some sort of change because it is unacceptable, to be honest. Hero Showdown, if Darkseid gets a 2-up on you and they have Vader on the last round and you know it's a good Saber player, it's game over because it's just like, yeah, you're not gonna win, especially equally skilled a Luke versus a Vader, because I would argue Luke is the best Saber character on the light side. If equal skill and they're both good, Vader is gonna win that matchup. I would say 8 out of 10 times, because yeah, this character is something else right now. And I know I've jumped a thought but earlier. 4v1ing, four light side sabers versus Vader, easy money for Vader. 3 sabers and 1 gunner, it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but I still give it to Vader. 2 gunners and 2 sabers on light side, that's where I would say Vader will lose if the players are good enough on the light side team. The only way that Vader, I believe, loses is when he has sustained fire into his ass, or he's got a Leia chipping away his stamina while he's also trying to deal with two lightsaber characters. That's the only like you need specific compositions to get rid of this character, and even then it's taking multiple players a concentrated effort just to get rid of this one guy. Like yeah, this character needs definitely some sort of fucking change. It's absolutely outrageous right now. Count Dooku, A tier, easily. He's probably the best lightsaber duelist under Vader. Uh, under Vader, yeah, I would say under Vader. He's got a good stun. Uh, insane fucking damage with his masterful duelist and his focus weakness. He's a character you probably don't even need that many star cards. To be honest, you could probably play him with no star cards. He's still a really good character. Finesse is a must. He can swing about almost 20 times, I believe, with finesse on, and that's without duelist. Before he depletes his stamina, good block stamina. Three dodges. That alone makes him pretty much better than most. Man, but Dooku, he can take on pretty much anyone, I believe, in a duel. Even if you could place Darkseid against Darkseid, I'd still rank Dooku above most Saber characters. Probably just if you want to go from like best to weakest in each tier, I'd say so far Dooku is probably the best in A tier right now. Let me reiterate this. This is HVV meta, not anything else, not others. Palpatine, I'm gonna put in B tier, just for the simple. I know he's been nerfed to death, but he's still a little fucking rat that is uncatchable. In the right dark side comp, you're not gonna be able to do anything as a light side saber character. You're gonna have to pretty much run to a blaster based comp, because if you're say a Luke player and you're trying to fight like a Dooku or a Kylo, and even if you're good enough to take him on both, like say you're fighting a Dooku and a Kylo at the same time, and even if you're a good enough player to take both on at the same time, if a Palpatine is shooting lightning at you, you're not gonna be able to do shit, bro. You're dead. He's just gonna melt your stamina from an untouchable range, and the Kylo and the Dooku are just gonna cut your fucking. You're gonna cut you into fucking. You're gonna be turned into diced cheese. Palpatine, he's got some counters now, and his damage output is low. I know he's not broken. He's good. He's not terrible, and I would argue that only because you will never catch this fucking guy. Apologies for any cut in the audio you might have just heard there. Continuing, Grievous, B tier, very poor stamina. Admittedly, I've not played much of Grievous. However, I don't think this character is great, but I don't think he's amazing either. His stamina is very poor, especially his block stamina. Can't block blasters or sabers for any amount of time, even worse than Anakin. However, his damage output is crazy, and his abilities are very good. His strike is a good disabling tool. Good gap closer as well. And his unrelenting advance against higher players, I'd argue, is not that good. However, I don't really play against many good Grievous players. To be honest, I feel like very few people actually have put the work into this character and have really experimented with everything. As I said, I don't play with Grievous a lot, but I can't justify putting him any higher than B, and honestly either any lower than B. He's a pretty good character. Moving on to Han Solo. Well, let's hold that thought on Han, because I know I definitely know where I'm putting Iden Versio. She's easily an A tier. And if you haven't figured it out already, Vader is gonna be in his own tier just because that's my opinion on him. uh, so let me just talk about Iden Versio. Iden Versio is pretty much the perfectly well-rounded blaster character. Excuse me. She has a stun to deal with saber characters. She has good sustain, high fire rate weapon with good range as well and accuracy. A unblockable with her fuck, I don't know the name of all this bullshit. But her blue fucking her basically her grenade launcher fucking a good high damage unblockable is what I'll call it. She also has a defensive ability, a shield, to help her escape. And she has a sniper rifle that's also has some level of unblockability. Uh, just a very well-rounded character, and this is a character that I'd never even want to bother playing against a high level of anyone who mains Iden out there. One, I secretly hate you. But two, on some level I commend you because even though in my opinion she is a very strong, uh, she's annoying as shit as well. Especially for anyone who mains a saber hero. Versio, pretty much well-rounded blaster character. Probably, honestly, might even be the best in the game if depending on on your opinion. Han Solo. Alright, I think I've decided on Han Solo. Han Solo I'm gonna put in B. And this is only because of the current state of Leia. If Leia were not so strong right now, I'd put Han in A. But because Leia is so good, I'm gonna put Han in B. He is a very good explosive to deal with sabers, and it has knockback as well. Very underestimated aspect of that. It's pretty much a stun in itself, as well as being a high damage explosive ability. His high fire rate, whatever the fuck you call it, on his blaster, gives him a very good option to take out anyone on the ground or stunned very quickly. His shoulder charge is a good option for any saber hero who's not playing smart to jump on him. Who decides to jump on him, it's a very good get off me tool. He can pretty much deal with anything that's thrown his way, mainly due to his C4 or his detonite charge. Very good character. Kylo Ren. Easy A tier. Easy A tier. Main reason being he has two CC abilities, being pull and freeze. It works great in certain team compositions on dark side. Very good damage. That third hit on Frenzy being unblockable. You get a freeze off, you dash behind them, get 2 hits in, and then Frenzy. If they even if they block the first 2, you're getting 3 guaranteed hits right there off of that freeze. Yeah, Kylo, I think he's a very good character right now. Not broken, and he's definitely not bad. The only weakness I'd say that Kylo has is his attack speed. It's not the best. Which is also something I forgot to mention about Dooku. His attack speed is ridiculous. Along to go with his ridiculous damage, his attack speed is the best in the game. Like, come on. Okay, Lando. Lando, I'm gonna go in C tier, mainly because, like Boba Fett, he kind of only has one thing that is giving him any sort of utility, I suppose. Any sort of benefit that puts him above being dog shit, and that's his stun, his CC ability. Otherwise, his blaster sucks in HVV. Again, I feel like I need to reiterate this. This is not for Galactic Assault, not Capital Supremacy. This is only an HVV meta. Blaster is really low damage. Sharp shot, not really useful against saber characters, and his smoke is absolutely useless in a HVV environment. So the only reason he's not in D is because of his stun. Leia, easy A tier, especially in her current state. EE3 with the damage resistance star card and the duration star card. That ability alone after the rework is ridiculous. But now you add in the fact that her shield gives a passive heal to her teammates that are near, and she has 3 grenades to, like, come on. And people will argue, oh, she has nothing to deal with a saber jumping on her. With that damage resistance star card and just dropping those grenades on the floor while you roll in circles, that's enough. You can deal with a saber character on your own. And I have trouble with good Leia players. I have to play extremely smart against any good Leia player. Say I'm Kylo Ren or Dooku, and I get close and I manage to close the distance on a good Leia player. I have to time my strikes so perfectly and dodge all the time. She's really good right now. She's really good right now. Luke, easy A tier as well. You know what? We're gonna make a few rearrangements. I'm gonna do this live because I don't really care enough. We're just gonna put this because I feel like some tiers are getting more crowded than others. We're gonna put the Vader God tier. We're bringing it back, boys. The Vader God tier is back. Luke is in S. Iden in S. Dooku S. All right, this is looking a lot more believable now that I'm looking at it. All right, the Vader God tier. All right. I hope this doesn't change too many things for you guys because yeah, all right. I think this is pretty good. I don't think Anakin and Kylo and Leia are as good as Luke, Iden, and Dooku. Luke made me the want to make this adjustment because it made me realize that some are closer than others. My B tier, I'm gonna keep my B tier the same. And now that I do have that extra tier though, I'm gonna move Han up one. Because he and Leia are not too far off, especially after the Leia buff. No, talk about Luke. Apologies. Luke, he's going in S right under the Vader God tier. Luke, attack speed, amazing. Stamina, amazing. Dash attack, great combo tool. Repulse and push, also great both get off me tools and great combo tools. You can use them offensively and defensively. He's probably he's the best saber character on light side, but I still don't think he can compete with Vader. And Anakin is only below him because of the bugs. That's at least the only reason I didn't move him up when I created that new tier. When I added the Vader God tier, the only reason I didn't move Anakin up with Luke is because Anakin is so fucking buggy. Otherwise, he would be with Luke up there. Because I think most saber characters are pretty balanced. It's just Vader is ridiculous right now. But like I said, stamina, amazing. Attack speed, amazing. Intensify, that star card is amazing. Obi-Wan. This motherfucker. I know you guys saw it. Yeah, we're putting him in B. He's not. His damage is not the greatest. but he's not about that. He's a great defensive character. Uh, I see a lot of people play Obi-Wan the wrong way when he's mainly about waiting for the moment, using that perfect defense, using that high block stamina, and specifically that high block stamina to your advantage. His abilities are not the greatest in terms of putting your team over the top, in my opinion. Like, very, very good character. However, he's not on the level where you can single-handedly carry your team to victory. Like, look at these characters that I have in A to Vader God tier. Each of these characters, if you main them, you can pretty much carry your team full of noobs against a decent team. Say like you have a on the other team you have like 30s, like a team of 25s and in the range of 25 to 40. Like everyone on the other team is 25 to 40 on their characters, and you are say level 100 of one of these or above. With these characters, they're all strong enough where I believe you could carry your team to victory if your team is all noobs. Below, I don't think so. And that's why I'm going to put Obi-Wan in B, because very, very good utility, honestly. The ability for Darkseid to not be able to use any of their abilities for 5 seconds, very underrated by most of the community, in my opinion. If you're playing with a full squad in a party, like with your friends, which I do suggest you do more if you're going to play HVV, because solo queuing is not the way, especially with the way that the game is developed and how there is a skill ceiling. Try not to play a lot by yourself, because you will run into squads that will absolutely destroy you. And Obi-Wan in a squad, if you say mind trick and then you say, alright, they have no abilities, push, 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 your team will do some work. Yeah, he's not a carry character. Not at all. Now here is this fucking bitch. Alright. Oh man, I'm gonna put Phasma in D. If you are solo queuing, this character is absolutely useless by yourself. If you're not playing with anyone, this character is dog shit, and that's mainly what this tier base is off with. It's how much value a character brings by themselves, because obviously team comps is a whole different situation, and that's why Phasma is in D. Her droid is the only thing she's bringing to the table. Because if you have a Phasma, an Iden, and say a Vader and a BB9, whatever, that team comp, you're not winning at all. You're just gonna get stunned to death. You got Vader in the front, you're gonna get stunned to death, and BB9 is passive healing. Very specific comps. However, this character by herself, pretty terrible. Pretty terrible. Yeah, she doesn't even her healing doesn't even assist her team. It's just gives her more health. And the staff is not only buggy but pretty much useless. Ray, Ray, cutesy Ray. Damn man, as a Ray main, it is gonna pain me to do this. Sadly, I think Ray is in C tier. I think she's at the top of C tier, to be honest. Like, if I had to rank it, I'd probably put it here, this way. Like, from best to worst. Let me do that adjustment right now. I've just reorganized each tier from best to worst, left to right. Now, to discuss my light side main, Ray. It pains me to say this, but I do think Ray is pretty weak right now. The most OP Jedi in the movies is one of the weakest in the video game. But the reason I'll say for this is she doesn't really have a safe gap closer. Like in Grievous's case, his strike It's no questions asked. He's closing the gap on your ass. You can't do anything about it. Ray's dash strike. If she wants to use that to close the gap, because that's her fastest move-in tool, other than just spamming dodge, using that extra dodge from their balance star card. Other than just dodging in, which is obviously not as effective as any sort of as effective as like Grievous. It's a good comboing tool. Like I've gone as a Ray main, I have gotten really effective at using it, but it's not really, I'm not really using it how probably the devs intended for it, because in HVV it's pretty much a death sentence if you use it as a gap closer. You pretty much need to use it as a CC tool because it's her only CC ability. Her mind trick is it's good against low levels, but against high levels it's still good, but it's not as good. Because when you mind trick a high level player, they're either gonna jump or they're just gonna keep back dodging. And if they jump, I can use dash strike to punish that. But if they don't jump and they just keep back dodging, it's pretty much useless to me. Insight is probably her best ability, giving her more stamina and more damage. However, it's even with insight, her damage is still 10 times lower than any other Saber character. Like, it boosts her from 120 to 130, but I'm pretty sure Luke and Anakin already do more than that. Especially Vader and Dooku, and most Darkseid characters. Rey, you gotta get pretty creative with, in all honesty, to put the work in HVV. She's very good in Hero Showdown. She's a good duelist character. However, in any sort of team environment, she's gotta work extra hard. Yoda, yeah, just above Rey. Mainly because his dueling capability is pretty good. His biggest weakness, in my opinion, is his attack speed. But presence is pretty good, even though it's buggy as hell and it doesn't really give your team health half the fucking time. His ability to counter Palpatine and have basically unlimited block on him, as well as being able to push back projectiles to get extra damage in, as well as his dash attack being a block breaking and unblockable. That alone is gonna put him above Rey and Maul in dueling, lightsaber dueling. We're gonna skip these two little pieces of shit, and we're gonna just go right to Finn. And HVV, people, HVV. I know he's a fucking he's a fucking god in Galactic Assault and Capital Supremacy. Trust me, I know he's fucking amazing in those game modes. However, in HVV, he's right next to Phasma, D tier garbage. Good damage output on his blaster, but he's a good counter to Palpatine and Boba. But that's it. That is absolutely it, girl. If any, he has nothing to defend himself. If any saber jumps on him, as well as no unblockable damage, no defensive ability, no CC. Yeah, in HVV, he's just basically cannon fodder. At least Phasma has a droid to protect her. If a saber tries to jump on her, and she can headshot him to death if they're dumb. But Finn, he's basically just target practice and there to be fucking become diced cheese in HVV by himself. Like I said, team comps, he can fit into a team comp just like Phasma on light side. However, on his own, pretty fucking useless. BB-8 will do. Actually, BB-9E. BB-9E, he can make a dark side comp overpowered, but by himself, he's doing nothing, just like Phasma on dark side. Ken is definitely a good piece to have. You can live without him, is what I'm getting at. You'll do fine without him. If your team comp is Like if you're running if you want to be competitive, even though this game is far from competitive, and dark side is clearly miles better than light side, especially when you take into consideration team compositions that you can make with both sides. Uh, he's definitely something. He, he's not a necessity, is what I'm getting at. Like if you were gonna say competitive dark side, like competitive environment, if this game did have that, you'd see probably Vader and fucking Iden in every fucking dark side team comp. Even though I have Dooku up here, he's nowhere near the level of these two that would be necessity in a competitive team environment. The other two you'd probably run with fucking Palpatine or Bosk or over BB-8, even Phasma over. In a competitive environment, Phasma would probably be fucking broken as hell. Sort of like that Lion effect, like Rainbow Six, where sort of Lion as a solo queue player, you're not gonna get any value out of him pretty much, but in a team environment, he's gonna be absolutely broken. That's for all my Rainbow Six players out there, whoever got that reference. BB-8. I'm gonna put BB-8 in B. But the reason I'm putting him in B is because of the fucking cable spin. Oh, Jesus. That fucking cable spin is so goddamn annoying. It pisses me off to no end how much damage that fucking thing does. Honestly, BB-8 can fucking probably outdamage a Palpatine. Like, I'll just put him right under Palpatine. Nah, I won't go that far. I'll put him right there. But, his cable spin, ridiculous. His fucking charge, knocking you on your fucking ass. And I honestly don't even care enough to fucking talk about the last ability because it annoys me enough that these characters are in the game over characters like Mace Windu and Ventress and Ahsoka or whatever, and Poe and even Poe and Hux. But I'm done talking about these droids. That was my tier list just for fun, even though I just got annoyed at the end. Based around an HVV meta. I hope you enjoyed it, and expect more Star Wars videos from me in the future. Have a good day, and stay safe, stay healthy during this quarantine, and enjoy your night. Have a good one.